Hello and welcome to Attack on Show. I'm your host, Rob E. It's the final episode of 2019, and I wanted to take a quick second to thank all of you attackers out there for your continued support of the show. We're excited to bring you more fun and entertaining content in 2020, so stick around. But before we get to that, we've got a great episode lined up for you today in studio. It's the star and creator of the Chair Gang series, April Washko, is here. If you're a fan of shows of like The Office or Parks and Recreation, you're going to love the Chair Gang series. So stick around and get the story for that. Then, obviously, April's going to take the challenge to see if she achieves attacker status. And then to wrap up the episode, we bring you on I Miss My MTV, a brand new track from one of our favorites, the Blue Stones. The track is called Grim. You're going to want to stick around. This is a great episode. Before we get to all that, though, it's time for our Movie Maniac Minute. So start the clock. James Gunn announced on Instagram that it is still a year away before he's going to start even filming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The script is complete and has been read, and some of the stars of the show say this is their favorite one so far, so we'll have to see if the finished product pulls through. On-set photos were released of the upcoming Falcon and Winter Soldier series that is going to be premiering on Disney+. In these shots, you can get your first look at Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan in character. And a surprise from these shots is Emily Van Camp on set, which confirms Sharon Carter will be returning to the series. And then switching gears over to DC, Zack Snyder released yet more photos of the Snyder Cut Justice League film. Also stating on his Instagram account, he has not watched Joss Whedon's cut because friends of his who he trusts most have told him never to watch it. He did also confirm that the Snyder Cut is not 100% complete, so again, who knows if we'll ever see this film. And that's all the time we have for Movie Maniac Minute. Make sure you click like and subscribe so you can get all these fun updates and future notices for the upcoming Attack on Show episodes. We have more coming for you. As promised, April Washko is in studio, so stick around. This is Attack on Show. All right, as promised, in studio, April Washko, everybody, the creator of the Chair Gang series. This is a fantastic show. I'm so excited to have you in studio today. You wasted a lot of my life because I've binged this show any free moment I had. I have a lot of questions for you, so I think we're going to focus on the Chair Gang for this episode. I want to start. What inspired you to create this series?
So the show was born out of trauma. All right. A little bit, tiny little bit. Anyone that works for the public, you have an amount of PTSD that you carry with you forever, okay?
Still dealing with it.
Yeah, right. I went to cosmetology school with the intention of shortcutting and getting on set.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm going to move to California, right? That's how you do it. Back then it was, that's how you do it. So how do I get on set? I don't want to be a waitress. Oh my God, I'll do their hair. And then I could just sneak into, I was being real crafty about it. So I did. I went and got my license, and I did that in California for a while, but I kind of realized quickly I was just the hair girl, and that wasn't very fun.
Now, were you getting on set, though, or were you getting work on
I was.
films or TV series?
Yeah. I worked a little bit, not too much. I didn't... That's a whole long story about how to get your license and hours and all that for different states, but... But yeah, but it also turned into I don't want to be known as the hair girl. I want to be an actor.
Yes.
That's my point. But then realized once streaming started getting popular that I don't really have to be here anymore.
Right.
Spending thousands of dollars on rent,
And milk. I mean, everything out there.
Yeah, I don't have to do that anymore. And that's kind of when films were coming here.
Yeah.
At that moment. That's
Okay.
when it was happening. So I said, you know what, let me go back home. I need to save some money anyway. Let me go home and try it. And this was well before the Me Too movement as well.
Okay.
So I was quite sick of all the casting couch foolery, and which was happening quite frequently.
Yes, yeah.
So I was like, no, I don't think so.
Very different industry out there than what people realize.
Yeah, especially, I can't speak to now, how it has turned around at all. I have had some real small experiences, but nothing like I did when I lived there before the Me Too. Which, that got scary because there's sometimes you're on a set or with a studio and you think you're safe, and then someone hits you with, what will you do for this role? And I'm like, bro, I'm from Detroit. Like, do you know who you're talking to? But no, so I came back here and I did some producing. I dabbled with PR. I did social media marketing and that kind of thing for other productions, and learned how to produce, learned how to do other stuff on set, and realized if I'm going to make it as an actor, I need to make my own things, because I was consistently being told I'm just going to be the other woman, I'm never going to make it because of what I look like, or, you know, being forced to the casting couch situation, which I wasn't down for. So I said, okay, I have to do it myself then. So I looked at a bunch of other areas, learned as much as I could, because I figured I need to know all of these things, and was ultimately just shown the internet route, which is where we are now in, you know, 2019, 2020. The way we're moving forward is everything is online. Everything is, you can build your own career, and it's absolutely possible. The old way of Hollywood is gone.
Yes.
So it's wonderfully powerful, but a lot of work. So that's where the show kind of came from.
It's powerful, and I think it's also made it a lot more competitive, because now more people have access to do that. So now it's even, you really got pushed to stand out, because a lot of people have access now to the streaming world, which makes it tricky. Your show stood out to me from like episode 1.
There's nothing like working a service job day in and day out to make you realize how much you fucking hate people. I'm actually starting to understand the mind of a serial killer.
After this episode, go check out the chair game. But for those that haven't seen or don't know what we're talking about, it's very Office-esque, or like Parks and Recreation. It's a mockumentary of a hair salon, of women who work at a hair salon, and the day-to-day struggles.
You girl! Hey, you girl! You open the door, buddy?
The hours are posted right on the door, sir.
This is ridiculous. Come on.
I think the clever part of it is the reality to it. These things do happen, and I don't think people realize just how much stuff you're exposed to.
And then this. What is this swirly thing up here?
That's a colic. Everyone has one. They're born with it.
Is a lot of this based on some issues or things that you experienced?
Oh, yeah. Yes. They are definitely based on true. What is that? Based on a true story.
Inspired by.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of it. Some of it, you know, of course, fabricated a little. But yes, all pretty much taken from that world. And then, you know, my objective was to always use it to tell bigger stories too.
Right.
You know, to shine light on topics that need to be discussed or talk about. And the show did start more, you know, small, to kind of see where our audience was and see how we could, like, is this going to work? How is it going to go?
Right.
And we've been floored by the audience. Like, we want 45-minute episodes. And I'm like, help!
Yes. Which I think that, you know, there is a, I like the episode lengths. I think people, what they don't realize is that's generally the length of a comedy, like a sitcom series on TV. You just are doing it without the commercials.
Right.
I think comedy has a runtime like that you need to be careful of to go too far or too long. And I think the timing on the show is, I actually really appreciate the timing of it and how quick hitted it is. I also do like the storytelling that you're doing, because while they're standalone episodes or things that are just arcing within the 17 to 20 minute timeline, you do have an overall season story that is going in the background that you become involved with the story, because you do want to continue watching to see how that's going to play out. So it's very well done, and creatively I commend you on that, because the overall storyline is compelling to still continue and care about the characters to see where it's going to go. So I respect that, watching a series on top of the comedy. I love the idea too of, like, almost like there's no embarrassment level for the characters on this show. Tina, the manager, the storyline with her and the things that comes out of her mouth, there's times where, like, I have to pause and do the 10-second skip back. Like, did she just say that?
At 5, I was kissing boys. At 14, I was kissing girls. At 18, I got paid to be in an orgy on video. It was fun.
Do you have help with the writing? Because you do everything behind the scenes. You're the creator, the writer, you direct it, you're in acting in it, editing. This is all from you. But do you have some help when there's that many different characters involved in the storyline? Do you get help from outside as well for that, or is this all in your head?
I definitely have help. Oh yes. Outside of my therapist. No, I do have help. Every season, I definitely try and bring in anyone who wants to. One of my goals for the show too is to create jobs for other people and opportunities, and not rely on past experience.
Is there an application to fill out online?
Yes,
All right.
or email. I want to give everyone a chance,
Yes.
whatever their experience level is. So people filter in and out and just decide maybe it's for me, maybe it's not for me. That's cool. But yes, every season I try and have at least one other person to help me flesh it out. I usually come up with in my mind a bullet point outline of what I'm thinking.
Starting it off.
Yeah, kind of where I'm thinking. Maybe start beginning, middle, end. And definitely rely on other ideas, even from the cast if they have some about their characters or something. I'm open to that as far as where we want to go from there.
Right.
And then we just kind of plug everything in.
So with the amount of cast involved, do you allow as far as some ad-libbing to go through? Do you encourage it, or do you try and make sure everybody sticks to what's written on there? How does that work with you being on set as acting and the writer and directing? Is there that freedom in there, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, my rule is as long as you know the script, feel free to pop things where you want. We can see if it works.
Right.
I know that a lot of people think the ad-libbing is, like making up an entire scene on...
Right.
Which
No.
at least on our set isn't the case. But... or sometimes people will try and use the ad-libbing to fill in chunks of a scene they don't know or they haven't memorized. So I don't like that. But
Gotta be prepared.
Right. So yeah, as long as you know the material and you know kind of where to go. If you I'm
Right.
not gonna give someone 12 lashings for saying and instead of the. I don't.
Maybe 9. No.
10.
No, and that's why I'm always curious. And obviously the cast here, because obviously starting this out, I mean, this is done on basically like a shoestring budget. These guys are all volunteering. Everyone's volunteering to be on the show. How did you find the cast? Because everyone involved in this has done such a great job. Everyone does their character so well. How did you find these people?
Casting, and not settling. I feel like a lot of people, and this is my personal opinion, that they might skip the casting because it's hard.
Yes.
And just use a lot of friends. And that's what can, I think, turn a really great project into an okay one when you haven't really truly found that character to where it's almost effortless and it doesn't require much direction, which was my goal. And so, yeah, we just did, thank goodness. And I like to, especially in this specific environment, because it is a mockumentary, it's more reality
Yes.
style, so that lends to a lot of freedom as far as we can tweak this to fit you as a person more, so it's easier.
And
for
that was
you.
what I was going to follow up next. Did you, after casting, kind of then evolve the character a little more to fit the people so it became more natural for them, or are they pulling off the character that you originally had written for them? So it seems kind of somewhere in the middle there.
Most everyone is just pulling it off perfectly. I do things real intuitively, which I always tell anyone I work with. Like, I'm a wacko a little bit, and I just do things real intuitive. So I feel it.
Okay.
And I look at people and I'm like, I feel like you are that character. And I go with it. I go with the gut,
That's excellent. So you did cold casting. You have these people involved. A question I wanted to ask is the cast from season 1 to 2 had changed. And I was curious because obviously when you're in a situation where there's not a paycheck and these people, you're taking the dedication from people to be involved in a project like this. Have you had to change the story on the fly? Like, have you had some adversity in the series as far as people just not showing up or it not working out? I imagine you planned the storyline out in advance, so have you had to change on the fly like that with the series?
Oh, yes. But I also believe that, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't know that, or they don't acknowledge that, and
Right.
they think it's playtime. Especially when it comes to a series, when it's an everyday, grind, and you gotta work for a career. It's hard. It's not someone handing you something.
Right.
So you know, on one hand, absolutely, there's no words to describe the gratitude I have for everyone donating their time. But on the other side of it, if you are serious about this career and you really truly do want to make it, which is 1,000% possible nowadays, more than ever that you can really make it,
Right.
you gotta show up for it and you gotta put the work in. And if you can't put the work in, then at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I can't hold space for that. I have to set boundaries for the rest of the cast.
How crazy is like that's something you have to like press on people? You just got to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Take it serious. And,
absolutely.
yes.
And there's absolutely some of those, and there's some where it's just not for them. You know,
Yeah.
they see how hard of the work it is, and it's not just a 20-minute one-off thing.
Right.
It's a lot of work, and they might have a life and other things they prefer, and that's absolutely fine too. And that's a space I try and hold is, if you want to try it, okay. If it's not for you, okay.
Right.
But yeah, at the absolute end of the day, it's work. It's not easy, and you
gotta be
gotta show
crazy.
up for it.
Yeah, the pre-production. So kind of map this out for people as far as you're doing. There are 26 episode seasons. 2 seasons are currently on Facebook, and you have season 3 coming out January 1st.
Yes.
Great way to kick off the new year, by the way. And then you're saying that you've already got season 4 written and going into pre-production, obviously. How long does it take you to write this season, and then when do you start filming, and how long does filming take? Like some of the behind-the-scenes timeline here.
So, at the beginning of the year, the previous season is already done. Generally, my goal is to have every single season completed, written, totally finalized, done.
All 26 episodes.
All 26 episodes.
And do you know the length of the episodes at that time?
Yes.
Or okay.
So we want that done. I'll start writing a season in the middle of the previous season while I'm shooting it. So I'll start writing it, and then I want it 100% done by October or January at the absolute latest.
Okay.
So then that's that. And okay, cool, the next season we're going to start shooting is done. I don't have to worry about it. Even in my brain, I have to think. I'm like, what? I don't even know.
So that puts us in January. So then you get to
Yeah.
have fun with the release of season. So you get to enjoy, I would imagine, a little window there to release the new season.
A small break.
Yeah.
A small break. And then we usually start filming all this season, no matter what, in April.
Okay.
So I don't want anyone risking their lives in the snow. It ain't worth it.
Although it's Michigan, April isn't such a safe bet.
I mean, I know. A little safer-ish.
Yeah.
But, and we do have a couple people that drive, like, from Ohio, like, pretty far. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and one flies in from LA.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Linda Russell. She flies in from LA.
From LA?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's commitment.
There's a New York and another LA actor that really wanted to do it, and they just didn't have housing. I'm like, it's so amazing how far this show is getting. I'm even blown. But,
so you have people contacting you at this
Yeah.
point to be on it.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very lucky. But so then we start filming in April, and we film 1 day a week because it's an actual running business, and they're closed a couple days, but we don't want to take up every single day.
Right.
So we shoot 1 episode in completion from beginning to end, done in that day.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know how much, looking at it and then me thinking of the production side, I didn't know how much that you filmed and then just kind of edited and chopped pieces together, like just pulled and put it together. So that's interesting that you film it. Do you film it linear then?
Yep.
Episode 1 you film, then next time you
Yep.
film episode 2.
Beginning to end.
Wow. Okay.
And we don't have a big crew. We don't have a budget, so we can't literally afford by manpower or money to make it night or
Right.
so we don't have a choice. It has to be page 1 to page 20, and that's how it goes.
How about extras in that? Are these, you have so many people involved getting their haircut now. Are those actors as well, or are you just kind of pulling people in and say, hey, can you come sit in the chair for a minute and we film this? Like they have no idea what's going on.
Everyone's an actor.
Everyone's
an actor. So, yeah, I do have a license, so I can cut hair.
Are you really cutting hair in the show? I'm
am.
really curious.
I am.
People are really getting their haircut
Yes,
on the
they
show.
are.
I want to come in for a haircut on
Yeah,
the show.
yeah, we'll do it. It's official. You have to now.
Nice. I will totally do that.
Yes.
I'm going to come out looking like Vanilla Ice or
Yeah.
something. No.
We'll write it in. Like, what? What did you do?
I don't want my eyebrows shaved.
Right. No. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but yeah, people are really getting their hair cut, and because I'm there and because I am licensed, I can actively oversee someone else doing it. So
The other one, like Brie.
not licensed.
So
But
she's not really cutting.
she is really cutting.
She's really cutting.
Yes.
Did you guys really dye the girl's hair blue?
Yes, we did. Yes.
How did you convince her to do that?
Just a call for, hey, who wants her hair blue for free? Let's do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you put your calls out? Where can people go to, I guess, if you're putting these out there, where can people go to find out if they want to be involved in the show?
Absolutely. Everyone is welcome. We put our casting calls on, I believe they put them on the Michigan Actors page and any type of Michigan casting page or profile you could think of on Facebook. They're pretty much up there.
Okay. So you also have a campaign running right now, shooting for 100 votes. This is to try and get on Hulu, correct? Or get a meeting with Hulu. Is that correct?
Yeah, I found out. How do people not know this? I'm gonna put y'all up on some game. Is that what the kids say? Whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to be hip. So if
it's the wrong show for that. No.
Stop. If somebody proposes an idea or a show to Hulu, they have to do it through their community forum. And if someone says, I want this show on Hulu, once that little thread, the little post gets 100 votes, Hulu then sees it and is like, oh, I guess this is something I should look at. And Hulu then considers that.
Okay.
And takes it kind of to the table.
Oh, okay.
How did I
So
not
then
know
it'll go to
about
vote,
this?
and then they'll reach out and talk to reach out to you. Which I gotta say, in watching this series, my initial thoughts on watching it was it related to me as far as the path of Letterkenny. We highlighted Letterkenny. It's one of my favorite comedy shows, and it was the route they went. They were a YouTube series. They got picked up by Crave TV in Canada, and then now they're exclusive to Hulu. Watching your series, it shot out to me that man, this should totally follow that route, because it had that similar feel, the rawness, the comedic timing of it was just on point, and it's I totally see this being something for Hulu. So attackers watching this episode, you have to have a Hulu account, correct?
Yes, or you can sign up for a free trial.
Yeah, they were just doing $1 a month or $1.99 a month. You might as well sign up anyway for that, and then vote the Chair Gang on the Hulu. The link's on your guys' website.
Yes.
Give them a vote. You need 100 votes. You guys are over halfway now, right?
We're at 60-something.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Whee!
So what can people expect? I guess we have to try and keep this spoiler free. What can people expect out of season 3 now? For those that have gotten through season 1 and 2, your chair gangers. Is that what you call them?
The gang.
No, I'm trying to be the gang.
The
Just
gang.
straight out the gang.
The gang.
All right. Now I'm scared.
The gang.
Don't send the gang after me for screwing that up.
Let's see. Well, spoiler alert. Spoiler
Yes.
alert. If you finished watching season 1 and 2, you know that Corinne is back.
Corinne is amazing, by the way. I have to say, Corinne's character to me, shout out immediately. It's Kimberly Brooks.
Yes, Kimberly Crushon Brooks is phenomenal.
So she is coming back.
She is coming back.
The Wrath of Corinne.
Yes,
I like
and
it.
you have also seen that Corinne and Bree are in cahoots. That has been revealed. So more of that gets exposed during season 3.
I love the show. Everybody, the link is below. Make sure you check out the Chair Gang. Actually, we're not going to let you go yet, because we do have an important segment that I need to run through here with you. We're going to give you your 5 questions to see if you achieve attacker status.
I'm ready.
All right, this is very important here. We have 5 questions to see if you achieve attacker status, and if you do, you get to keep this fancy Attack on Show glass.
Woo!
So no pressure, but it's pretty fancy glass.
I'm ready.
All right, we're ready. We're going to start with number 1. Who would be a better boss, Michael Scott or Ron Swanson?
Oh no. I love them both.
This is a tough one.
Who would be better? In what ways?
Who would you rather work for? Who would be the one that you would have to go to
I
work
think
every day with? And
For me, for April Washko, with my personality, my best friend forever would be Ron Swanson.
yeah, that guy's cool.
Yeah.
You can't mess with the stash.
Can I tell you a sweet side
Yeah,
story?
no, by all means.
So one of the very first things I ever did in my life was I was on the Megan Mullally show. Now, Megan Mullally from Will and Grace had a talk show a while ago.
Yeah, oh yeah.
and I sent in a little video because I love Megan, and this was pre Nick Offerman. Her husband is Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson, and I don't think his career had kicked off at that point
No,
yet.
yeah.
And long story short, for some reason my audio wasn't working, and they were doing an interview with me for like over the phone with her on the show, and I was talking to some guy named Fred in the control room, and Nick was there. Like, Nick was to the side, and he said something at some point like, "Hey, you there?" And because no one could hear me, and I was like, I could just, who's that? Like, I can hear someone. So I kind of a little bit already know.
You guys go way back.
Way
You guys
back.
are tight. This is awesome. Old friends. Yep. You get it. That's 1 for 1.
Whee!
That might be extra credit. Number 2. Who had better hair? Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon 3 or Farrah Fawcett from Cannonball Run?
I mean,
Mel Gibson's mullet was...
the mullet is coming back.
It is. I'm scared.
But Farrah's my girl. And
Yeah.
her hair was so famous. That Farrah hair,
Yes.
everyone wanted that hair. So I'm going to have to go with Farrah.
We'll give it to you. 2 for 2.
Yay!
Farrah Fawcett. All right, we're moving along here. Number 3. This is where we ask what was better, the original or the remake? So
Okay.
the original movie here is Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood. And the remake is Pixar's Up.
I've never seen Up.
You've never seen
I've
Up?
never seen
Oh, wow.
Up.
You lost the glass.
I know,
No.
I know. And I've heard people reference that movie to me
Amazing movie.
endlessly over the
Yes.
last couple weeks. But I have a problem with emotions in cartoons. Like, I can't handle it.
You won't handle the first 15 minutes of that movie.
And
though.
that's what I've
Yeah,
heard.
no, you won't be able to get through it. So you want to just pick Gran Torino by default?
Sure.
It was filmed in Michigan. We'll give it
Yeah,
to you. 3
okay.
3 for 3.
Thanks.
It was a good one. I like it.
I can't handle the emotions of Up.
Number 4. Who was the bigger badass? Ripley from Aliens or Sarah Connor from Terminator 2? These are tough ones.
That's Sigourney Weaver, right?
Sigourney Weaver and Aliens, yeah.
So, like, another side note, we're like friends.
Really? You
I
got
think
connections.
in my heart. I did a Lifetime movie. I forget what it was called. I was an extra, but it was one of the first things I ever did, and she was in it as the mother. And I was in a funeral scene, and she was so kind. Like, I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go, and I like ran into her, and I was like, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "It's okay, honey. It's over there." Like, she
Oh,
was,
nice.
She was really nice.
I like hearing
So
stories like
I
that.
have to go with
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
That wins it because to me, like, that's like the OG, like kick-ass. Like when she gets in the exoskeleton at the end and takes on the Queen Alien. I love that whole
Yeah.
that fight sequence. So
And
that takes it.
anybody of that caliber with that much, I guess, star power that's so endlessly kind
Yes.
is so moving to me.
Yes.
That you could be an ass.
Yeah.
You know, but you're not.
Yeah, I always try and stay grounded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad.
Number 5, the final question. Glasses on the line. We're 4 for 4. Who would you rather hang out with, Heathers or the Plastics? I'm talking original Heathers with Winona Ryder. Shannon Doherty.
Right. I love Shannon, but I really, really want to be Amy Poehler's friend.
Yeah.
So I would maneuver in with the Plastics.
The Plastics, love it.
Yeah.
Mean Girls is fantastic. You win. That's 5 for 5.
Yay!
You get this fancy glass Attack on Show. Dishwasher safe, by the way. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not going to let you off the set yet. I'm going to keep you around for one more segment if you don't mind.
I'm ready.
I would like to do I Miss My MTV. I'm going to introduce a new band to everybody. You want to stick around
I'm
for it?
ready.
Awesome. All right. So, April, you mentioned that you miss MTV.
I do.
So we missed it here on Attack on Show, so this is a very important segment to us because we want some music videos. Like we love music videos. Today we're bringing you the Blue Stones, and they released this track this week called Grim. This is a band, they're just across the pond out of Windsor.
Nice.
It's two guys these guys just have wicked vocals. This is their second album that they're releasing some tracks off of. They're currently on tour in Canada and just announced a US tour. And fun fact, I get to meet them on January 24th to do an interview with them. So stay tuned, Attackers. That's going to be a future episode here. But you want to hear some music?
I'm down.
Awesome. This is the Blue Stones, Grim. Hope you enjoy.
I'm a hungry boy.
the Blue Stones. What'd you think?
I dug it.
Cool band?
Hardcore.
Yeah, getting tickets January 24th. They're in London. It's only 2 hours away. It's across the pond. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah, excited to bring them to you, so stay tuned. Most importantly, check out the Chair Gang on Facebook. Like the page. Stay tuned. January 1st is season 3. So if you've not watched seasons 1 and 2, get cracking, right?
Get cracking.
Any words of advice? I like it. Everybody, April Washko, thank you so much for being
Thank you for
on the
having
show.
me.
I appreciate it. I love having you on here. This was a lot of fun. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, stay tuned. We're going to keep bringing you information on the Chair Gang, keep you up to date on all what's good. As always, I'm Robbie, and this is, you want to tell them the name of the show?
Attack on Show!
Yes.